Can you show me how you'd open the bonnet and tell me how you check the engine has sufficient oil?
To open the bonnet on a Mini, go to the passenger side door. The catch is here. Pull it towards you and you'll hear the bonnet pop. Once you've popped the bonnet, come around to the front and just to the right of the mini badge. It's a bit tricky to find, but you're trying to push this clip in. Once the hood's up, it will stay like that on its own. This is your engine oil, and to check the level, you pull out the dipstick. You wipe it clean and put it back into the same place. You then take the dipstick out and check the oil is in between the minimum and maximum markings. If it isn't, top up the oil in here.
Can you open the bonnet and tell me how the engine has sufficient coolant?
This is your engine coolant. There is a minimum and a maximum marking on the side. Just check that the liquid is between that.
Can you open the bonnet and tell me how you check that you have a safe level of hydraulic brake fluid?
The brake fluid is in here. Open the little top and then you check that the liquid is in between the minimum and the maximum.
Can you open the bonnet for me? Tell me how you check you've got sufficient windscreen washer fluid.
This is your windscreen washer fluid. Open the cap, check how much is in there.
Tell me how you check the brakes are working before you start a journey.
To check that the brakes are working, I'm going to press the brake pedal and I'm just going to check to see how it feels. It shouldn't feel loose, spongy or slack, and you need to say that when you drive on, your car shouldn't be pulling to one side.
Can you tell me where you would find the information for the recommended tyre pressures of this car and how your tyre pressures can be checked?
To find out what the tyre pressures should be, you check in the manual of your car, or sometimes there's a little sticker on the side of the door. Then you would take it to a petrol station and you can use the air pumps to check what your tyre pressures are.
Can you tell me how you would make sure your head restraint is correctly adjusted so it does provide the best protection in the event of a crash?
To make sure the headrest is correctly adjusted, I'm just going to press my head against it and check that it feels comfortable. The top of my ears should be about in the middle of the headrest and I can move it up or down if I need to.
Can you tell me how you would check the tyres to ensure they have sufficient tread depth and that their general condition is safe to use on the road?
To check the condition of your tyres, you get outside the car and you have a look at each tyre individually. What you're looking for is that there is no cuts or bulges to your tyre, no tears. And you check your tread depth, that's your grip. It cannot be less than 1.6 millimetres.
Can you tell me how you would check that the headlights and taillights are working? You don't need to exit the vehicle.
To check that my headlights and taillights are working, I would turn on my headlights and then I get out the car and I have a look to make sure they're working.
Can you tell me how you would check that there was a problem with your anti-lock braking system?
If there was a problem with my anti-lock braking system, which is your ABS, when you turn on your engine, your ABS light comes on. It should go off, means there's no problem. If it stays on, you've got a problem.
Can you tell me how you would check the direction indicators are working? You don't need to exit the vehicle.
To check that all your indicator lights are working, the easiest thing to do is press this button. That's your hazard warning lights. It puts on your left and your right indicators at the same time. You'd then get out of the car and check that each one works okay. Remember to turn it off.
Can you tell me how you check that the brake lights were working on this car?
To check your brake lights are working, first of all, make sure you've turned the ignition on. Press your brake pedal and get a mate to stand out the back and tell you if they work or not. If you haven't got any friends, reverse up to a reflective surface, then when you press the brake pedal, you can see the reflection in your mirror.
Can you tell me how you'd check the power assisted steering is working before you start a journey?
When the engine's off, there's not a lot of movement within your steering wheel. When you turn the engine on, it's a lot lighter, my power steering works.
Can you tell me how you'd switch on the rear fog light? And also explain to me when you might use it. You don't need to exit the vehicle.
To turn on the rear fog light, it only works when your headlights are on. So first of all, make sure you've got your headlights on. This button down here controls the fog lights. When you press that, you'll know it's on because a light will appear on your dash. You'll need to use your rear fog lights if visibility is 100 metres or less.
Can you tell me how you'd switch your headlight from a dipped beam to a main beam? And how would you know this is on when you're here inside the car?
To turn on your headlights is to have your vehicle on dipped beam. To put your full beam on, push the stick away from you and a blue light appears. To bring it off, pull it towards you.
When it's safe to do so, show me how you would wash the front windscreen.
To wash the front window, pull the stalk on the right towards you. It will wash and wipe automatically.
When you're happy to do so, can you show me how you would wash the rear windscreen?
To wash the rear window, I'm just going to twist downwards and I can see in the mirror it's washing and wiping.
When you're happy to do so, show me how you'd use the horn. Not too loud, we don't want to scare anybody.
Just going to make sure I go past any pedestrians and that the road is clear before I press my horn.
When you're ready, show me how you'd open and close a side window. Not too much, just had my hair done, don't want it blowing everywhere.
Yeah, sure, to open the window, I'm just going to press this button here. Press it down to open the window, pull it up to close the window.
It's getting a bit misty. When you're happy to do so, show me how you would demist the front window.
To demist the front window, make sure that the air is going to come out at the window and then turn on the fan. Turn the fan back off.
When you're happy to do so, show me how you would demist the rear window.
To demist the rear window, press this button and then press it again to turn it off.
When you're happy to do so, show me how you'd turn on your headlights.
Yeah, sure, to turn on the headlights I'm just going to twist to turn them on, twist to turn them off.